and this is the table show with Bigglez. Have you ever wondered why people go to colleges of education? This brings us to the motion for today's discussion on the table. That is, the teaching profession is nothing but just a stepping stone. With this, we are going to have an intellectual argument and debate with facts to support our argument for the motion or against the motion. And doing us this, Hannah, is our lovely guest with us. Right on my right is Mr.
Osei Sarfo Moses, popularly known as Kobby Bryan.
And the next to him is
Nkansah Isaac, popularly known as Abodie.
So we have aka Kobby Bryan and Abodie. Stay tuned, viewers. We're going to have an enjoying, lovely interaction from these minds. They are great minds today. Now, who is for the motion or who is against the motion?
I'm for the motion.
That the teaching profession is nothing but just a stepping stone. And
Undoubtedly, everything against the motion.
it's gonna be lovely. Shall we begin with Abodie?
All right. So, I just want to say a very big thank you for giving us this very platform to really elaborate on things that have really been a canker on people's mind almost for so many years. But this afternoon, after this very session, I know people are going to know the right channel to really scale, that is their main skills, and where they are going to be able to meet the standard of living in this very current dispensation. So the motion before the House, that is the teaching profession, is nothing but just a stepping stone. For some decades now, the teaching profession is without doubt, we can say that it has been able to inculcate into our children, into our generation, the skills, the attitudes, the knowledge, and all the competences. But let's see what happens after the skills.
Are you trying to say that after all the competencies and skills that has been inculcated to people, the aftermath is nothing to write home about?
The main thing, what we want to really bring on board right now is that what really happens to those who are really, that is those who spearman the whole thing. If you are a teacher, are you something to write home about? Are you happy to be a teacher? To do what you are supposed to do? That is what we are talking about now.
If I'm getting you right, are you trying to say that the teacher, the individual, is not attractive enough, or the teaching profession is not attractive enough?
For now, in our current dispensation, the teaching profession is not attractive. So right after getting the skill, what I'm thinking of and what I'm standing for right now is that once you get the skills, the attitude, the knowledge, the competences, leave for other fields, leave for more greener pastures. That's what I'm saying.
And are you trying to say that in the field of teaching, there are no greener pastures?
Let's see. Don't let us put on any lens in judging what you are doing here. The main thing is that in our current dispensation in Ghana, the teaching job as a profession,
Wow.
that's what we want to say.
Wow.
Now starting, let's bring it from the point that those who are the products of the teaching profession, once they enter the teaching profession, and then you as a teacher teaching a student, for them the teaching profession is undoubtedly providing us with all the grease of all the jobs. But the person who provides all these things right after the teaching profession, or right after inculcating, that is the skills and everything, into the student now, I just want to compare the teaching profession to other professions.
From what you said earlier, are you trying to say that the teaching profession is more like jack of all trades?
That is it.
So if it's a jack of all trades, then why don't you stick to it and we are moving out, seeing it as a stepping stone?
Now let me say this. Now let's see. There is a nice adage that comes in the form that send them to the calf. That's what say it's there. Let's just say that.
It's getting interesting, and the 2 minutes is up to now, I guess so. Before we go to the against, for him to tell him the side. Lovely viewers, leave a comment, share, like, and subscribe. Okay, Kobby Bryan.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, DP Media, for this opportunity, and my brother. He has said a lot, and we all agree to the fact that he has already given. But I undoubtedly quibble obviously against what he has said.
I already said we all agree to the facts.
Every fact may be true or untrue, but as to whether you believe it or not is dependent on you and your ideologies. Now, according to the Cambridge Dictionary, English Dictionary, we have all said that teaching as a profession, as stated in the motion, a profession is any type of work, okay, that demands special training by a particular skill. Meaning that as any profession demands special training or particular skills, teaching is also considered a profession. It means that it also has that kind of acquaintance into itself. It is a profession. And so if you have that specialty, then you need to build yourself for that very duty. So why should we consider it a stepping stone, but rather building ourselves for that specialty, and we stand to tell ourselves it's a stepping stone?
If I'm getting you very well, before as our brother spoke, he made mention of the fact that it's not attractive, but he made mention of the fact that it gives us skill, we inculcate skills from each. Now, knowing that it's not attractive, do you still want it to be accepted that way and not treated as a stepping stone?
Okay, true. The basis from which maybe he is considering the teaching not to be attractive is what we don't know. Myself, I don't know, and I don't believe that.
Do you think the teaching profession is attractive?
Oh yeah.
Mention some things within it that makes it attractive.
Very good. My brother made mention of monitoring, teaching is not helping people meet the standards they want to get to.
They are not getting to the greener pasture.
That is it. Do you understand? But I need to be clear with you that there is no profession that promises affluence.
So, are you trying to side with some quotes that came out from the president regarding teachers and the whole teaching profession?
What the president actually said concerning teaching, I don't see it from the negative side. Okay, I always look at the positive side of things, and I try to make meaning out of it positively. What the president said, I don't really find fault in what he said, if I am to consider it positive. Now, because I said earlier on that no profession promises affluence, and I would like to quote this Akan adage that goes, when you really share or chroma a book or something like that. Something like that. Good. So it means that if teaching is building people and trying to develop people holistically and wholesomely, then it means that that particular skill or competencies that they develop can, is too great for them to consider it a stepping stone.
It's getting interesting. You know what? Right back from this book. Stay tuned. Keep the comments coming. Thank you. You're welcome back, and this is the table. We are continuing with the motion. The teaching profession is nothing but a stepping stone. Now to Kobby Bryan.
Yeah.
We are saying the teaching profession is nothing but a stepping stone, and you are saying no. Do you believe the teaching profession only brings out failures and doesn't create better life for the teachers?
No. I still stand. Like, I'm stagnant in my decision. Yes. That considering that teaching as a teaching profession as a stepping stone is 99.999% misconception that needs to be clear. It has gotten to a point that people need to understand that success is a decision and a choice. I therefore said that there is no profession on earth that promises affluence.
Do you agree with what he's saying?
Not really. The main thing is that, Bigglez, the main thing is, let's look at, in every profession, there is a level of motivation.
And with that affluence, will people going for profession?
Now, it is very, very unregarded by society to see you as idle. Okay, and so, like, let's take for instance, you complete your second cycle of your education, you probably come home and you wait for a year or two to enter the profession. You wouldn't expect to be idle in your home, right? You definitely want to find something new. At least, if not to help your family, to help yourself, to stabilize your way of life in your home. You understand?
So are you trying to say that it's the teaching profession that takes out the idleness? That's what people go for it.
And it's not necessarily
stone.
the idleness. I'm trying to make a point. It is not necessarily the idleness. Now, it is not about the person being idle or not being idle. Okay? And we shouldn't mistake teaching as a profession itself to replace a person for being like to prevent a person from being idle or something like that. No. Just as any other profession. Okay? Just as any other profession. You wake up in the morning, you get yourself prepared to go to work. At the end of the month or something like you take your wages, you take your salary. That is what is ascribed to you. That's what you're taking. Okay? The other motivations come out of your hard work. Now, in all professions,
I think
Abodie
has something to say with what you
when all professions, hard work is what makes a better life.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's God that blesses too.
So with what you are saying, the hard work.
Yes. Now, let me
no,
tell you something.
Kobby,
Yeah.
let's see this. You see, currently, we just want to let people see how much these two things weigh. Are we for or against? Teaching profession is nothing but just a stepping stone. The main thing is that before you see the value of something, you have to compare it against something. We are all in this country. Don't let us put on any lens in judging this. The main thing is that even currently, what happened can be used to judge. You were there when, that is, those teaching the secondary cycles were asked to go and then pay for the bungalows they were living in.
It's very interesting.
Whoa, the government just bringing a communique to tell a doctor to leave, that is the bungalow. Are the teachers not working extra and overtime? When the children are at prayer, don't they go supervise them? In the evenings, they do all these things. Are they paid for?
They receive your pay.
That is exactly what they are saying. That is why I'm saying that it's a stepping stone.
So what is
so right after,
My dear, you know, the motion on board right now does not limit us to our country. And as much as we find ourselves in this country.
So are you trying to say that worldwide
We
teachers...
said teaching as a profession, no specialization that in Ghana. So if you make reference to what's happening in Ghana,
But you're finding
which
yourself in
is
Ghana.
equally, that is what I'm saying, that
Are you not
the
trained?
motion is a broad motion.
Are you not a teacher to be?
Yeah.
And after you graduate, where do you find yourself? Outside Ghana?
No, probably
In
yeah.
Ghana.
Mhm.
So let's talk about Ghana.
You want us to live in Ghana?
We are not
Alright.
limiting it. We are talking about where you find yourself.
Okay, fine. Now, he has made a point, okay? Yeah. That is what the government has passed to teachers in a certain cycle. Now, what then do you expect to happen? If people are looking down on teaching as a profession, it doesn't mean we should take that as an ideology to base on and consider teaching as a profession a stepping stone.
As the people looking down on the profession or
the
the reality on ground.
What is it? Let's talk about the reality.
Listen.
From what he said, government released the communique. Teachers pay for your bungalow. Is it the people looking down that is causing the government to release such communique?
If the government is communicating that to teachers, the people are considering that to be, let's say, the government are looking down on the teaching as a profession.
So do you think it's allowed that
that
the government gives out such instruction or communicate to teachers?
I think it's unfair. But that doesn't make teaching as a profession a stepping stone.
What do you have to say?
The main thing is that, you see, the whole thing that we are discussing here right now is that the teaching profession is a stepping stone and nothing else. We will keep on referring to this over and over again. If you give me 10 platforms, this is the same thing I will stand by.
I will put stand to my toes.
Don't you think the unfairness you are speaking about creates the platform for it
Now,
to be a stepping
I want
stone?
to draw your attention to this. It isn't the government that established teaching profession. Yes. There is not a profession that was established by government.
Who established it?
Who established teaching? It wasn't a government establishment. And it isn't a government's policy. Yes.
Okay.
Teaching a profession,
Teachers.
just like any other profession, was not a government establishment. It is because they carry the superpower of the country when it comes to democratic and economic social affairs. Okay? So they use that power because they are, like, let's say, the heads or leadership of the country, and the teaching as a department or as a profession or within that very fraternity has been shifted to the state. Okay, one way or the other, we have the private ones and all that. So they that are under the government are those people actually that the government is trying to put that kind of pressure on. And mind you, a government can equally come and raise policies that will favor them. Does that make teaching a stepping stone? So the decisions of the government, in as much as it affects the teachers, does not mean the teaching as a profession is a stepping stone for other professions.
From some undergone interviews that has been taken, when you meet any 5 teacher trainees, 4 or 3 of them will tell you, this is not where I want to be. Are we trying to say that the unfairness or the activities that is carried out, the policies, the initiative, all the names you can give it, that is carried out towards teachers doesn't affect such decisions?
Very good. You know, you make mention of you meet 5 trainees, okay, teacher trainees, students, and probably they will tell you there's no where they wanted to be. This should tell you that they had a dream program that wanted to offer in a traditional university, right? That is why I raised the point that considering teaching as a profession, a stepping stone is 99.99% a misconception that needs to be cleared. Because all those people, I always see it to be because they are not financially healthy enough to have entered, in their homes, to have entered into university, the traditional university. And moreover, they consider entering into teaching, maybe the requirements was maybe flexible. But the flexibility of the requirement of you entering into a college of education is not based on your examination results. Or perhaps we all had a cut-out point. We all had a cut-out point.
What do you have to say?
You see, Abby, what you just brought on board was that if you meet about 4 to 5 teacher trainees, what they will tell you is that this is not what they prefer, but life brought them here. Why? Just because the teaching profession now is nothing to write home about.
Then
Just
what
because
are they doing in it?
Good.
If you
Because
think
there
there
was
is
something,
something
that's
that
why we started first. We started first by saying that undoubtedly we will say that the teaching profession is good. No, 99%. That one is better. We know we are saying that. We are standing by that because it's just inculcating into our children the skills, the needed values and everything.
Because you are posted immediately, you don't have to go and search for jobs.
That is it. So after getting that salary for some months, we can now further on to be something better than we wish for.
Now, teaching is what holds the society. Yes.
I think the
Teaching is what holds the society. Now, the misconception is because I understand that. I understand all those who say that. And the reason is because they are inappreciative and ignorant of the fact that the reason for them coming into the country of education is because they know that they'll get trained and they'll get themselves acquainted with all those competencies and skills. At the end of the day, they see that to help them fit into all other fraternities.
So
but let me tell you, that is what they see. But they shouldn't forget that this is a specialization and a call to duty. You can't tell me.
Are you not limiting it too much to the skills? Don't you think that because during the training process they are giving allowances, and I told you after you're out you'll be posted, so people think that is the easiest way to get outside there and go into what I want.
That is ignorance.
Wow.
Yes.
Bigglez,
if you are financially sound at that moment, all those who will tell you that life has brought them here, it's based on financial reasons.
It doesn't mean that.
That does not mean that those who are already into it and are passion for the job came because they also had faced the same financial constraints.
Are you trying to say that the tuition fee and other thing is minimal as compared to the traditional?
That's not what I'm trying to say. What I am trying to raise, the point I'm trying to raise right now is that in as much as people are saying that they are here because life and that, it's because of financial reasons.
I think
now,
Abodie has something
I want to correct that. If they try to limit that to what they say, then they're trying to tell me that all those who are within the colleges of education are there because of financial issues. Which is absolutely not right, because there are people within the fraternity right now who come from well-to-do homes. Yeah.
See,
but yet that's the passion, and that's what
I think before the
you go for what you have passion for.
Before the implementation of the new curriculum.
Okay.
There were so many workshops that were held just to equip the teachers with the skills that they wanted to, that is, implement in the classrooms. Now, there was this thing that really came about. The teachers were fed with, tea, wrapped in rubber bags and stuff and shared to them. Will doctors go for workshops and will be treated like that? The teaching profession is a stepping stone.
Will doctors go for workshop and be treated like that? I think today's motion is very hot. And we need to pick others' facts and also decide, should the teaching profession indeed be treated as a stepping stone, or we should accept it as it is? Keep your comments coming, leave it in the comment section, and let's contribute and see which size holds the grounds or which size is likely to win. Mr. Ike and Kobby Bryan. I think it's getting more interesting, and I really want to see your future with teaching, if indeed you wouldn't diverge from it, or if indeed you would also be in till the end.
Staying in the profession is...
You know what? Let me tell you.
Give us a last statement.
Okay.
Concerning your stance.
Very good. I have once said something that there's no profession that promises affluence, actually. And because I know people who are doctors and lawyers, and they are not affluent people.
Wow.
Yes.
A percentage.
I know some. So if we classify a profession to promise affluence, then I expect all those people to be rich and wealthy enough.
Comparing a doctor to a teacher.
And I know a teacher who is richer even than a doctor, than some doctors.
What are your statements?
So richness and prosperity is not based on your profession. It is your mind. And what you do.
Okay, thank you, there, Kobby, about your statement.
That salary cannot make you rich.
staying in the teaching profession is nothing to write home about. Let's acquire the skills federal.
Acquire the skills in federal, and also he's telling us that don't treat it as such. Keep your comments coming and let's know. Today, your host is Bigglez. This is the table with intellectual arguments on debate. The teaching profession is nothing to write home about. Leave your comments coming. We want to know what you have to say. On the next episode, we'll keep you updated. For sponsorship, you can call the numbers on the screen. Let's like, subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much and stay tuned for our next episode.